Good morning, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. Just want to start off today, with the news of what's happened up at University of Virginia. Just our thoughts and prayers are with that whole community and Coach Elliott, the football program. It's all to the lives and the families that been tragically affected by the just terrible event that has occurred, and just want to express our remorse for the families and for the whole community there at Virginia. But to kind of reflect back to Saturday and being able to come and rewatch the game film, once again very proud of our football team to go on the road. The last 2 weeks have been two trips. In challenging atmospheres, and just very proud of how our team is prepared, the way they've gone out and executed. We got off to a fast start. I thought our defense was extraordinary in how they played. I think we had 8 3-and-outs. We're able to create a takeaway. We're great in situational football. You didn't allow a touchdown for the second straight week. You're really playing at a high level, and I think that you see the confidence that's really emerging at all 3 levels. Our defensive front's doing a remarkable job. Some guys that were showing up big in the stat book. Jared Verse, Patrick Payton, Derek McClendon. Those guys, you really see some great numbers that are being put up. But then also guys that maybe aren't showing up as much in the stat line. They're still making great impacts. Fabian Lovett, Robert Cooper. I know Josh Farmer had a couple tackles there. Really did a nice job. But you see the impact that's being made, and that's allowing our linebackers to play really fast. I thought our defensive backs really played at a high level. I mean, totally eliminated all the passing game of Syracuse, and then really made some great plays. I thought Akeem Dent had a couple big tackles. Renardo Green, was just playing at a high level. Just excited about what I'm seeing on that side of the ball. Offensively, I thought we were very efficient, being able to run for over 200 yards. I mean, that was a defense that was a top 15 defense, coming in. And, they've done a good job of creating havoc to offenses that they played. But we knew we needed to establish the run game, and we were able to do that, going for over 200 yards for, I think it's the 5th straight week. It's a testament to our offensive line, tight ends, receivers blocking. All those things showed up big in the game the other day. Jordan was so very efficient in what he did. I mean, I thought he played at a very high level, located the ball, great. The receivers, not only did they play physical in the run game, they were physical once they got the ball in their hands, and were able to do a great job. I think they had over 80 yards, after catching contact there, from a receiving position, which was impressive to see. And all in all, it was a dominant performance. I thought special teams, Alex, once again was able to flip the field position. That was a huge factor in the game the other night. I thought our punt return unit was able to get us in a great starting field position. I thought Micah Pittman did a really nice job, being aggressive, but also taking care of the football and getting our offense started in good shape with that. But to finish ACC play. We talked about wanting to make a statement in how we finished, and we've secured at least second place finish in the Atlantic Division, which is not where we want to be, but it definitely shows growth. It shows steps of progress. And even with that stretch there in the middle of the season, I thought our guys responded at a very high level with our last 3 games in the ACC. And so we go back to non-conference play this week, and continued emphasis of our growth and obviously development of our team. And I was really pleased with the guys and their attitude and approach. We got back really early there Sunday morning. It was, I think, 4 o'clock or whatever it was when we returned, and pushed things back a little bit. We still went out and practiced. You had really good meetings. I love the approach from our team. The mindset that they're bringing on a daily basis to go out and improve. And we know we got to get better this week, and excited for the opportunity to be back at home. We got our last 2 games, our regular season games at home, and excited to see our team continue to take the positive steps, building upon what we've done up to this point.
First question will be Ira on your right. and I might be just projecting because of the way they're playing, but even watching the team go through warm-ups, it seems like there's just a confidence and a business-like that seems a little bit different than maybe earlier. Have you seen that coming, and where do you think that comes from?
I mean, I think they're growing. I mean, they're growing in confidence through the experiences that we've had, but they're also they're seeing what has worked and trying to continue to improve in that. And you know, I've liked, you know, the Georgia Tech preparation. I thought was really good, and even before the game there, you know, I had mentioned about how we had prepared, and you know, whether it was, you know, Jordan Travis and, you know, almost preparing angry, you know, there was a sense of urgency to get back out on the field, coming off a bye week, and just how they did it, and they experienced success, and then we go on the road, big rivalry game, and you know, even in, like you mentioned, in pregame, I mean, you just feel that edge, and you know, there's. You know, they carried that to the Miami game, and then what I loved, it was the same, you know, there in Syracuse, and it is, you know, it's a choice that has to be made, but it's also, you know, when you see the benefits of, you know, a heightened level of you know, the way that you're getting yourself ready to go out there and execute, especially, you know, being on the road and, you know, facing some challenging, you know, things that you know will show up. I think our guys have really built confidence because of the experiences that they've had, and you know, I'm proud of them for that. I addressed that, you know, yesterday, and you know, I think that's just like in life, when you see that if you do things to a certain standard in a certain way, when you see the benefit, well, then it just starts becoming part of who you are. And you know, I do think we're growing in that area, and you know, I've been pleased with the results.
All right, we'll come over to Hassan on your left.
Yeah, watching the game back, Greedy Vance kind of popped on film again. Watching back, you know, he's kind of become a playmaker out there, and he's playing limited snaps, you know, splitting the null. So how much has his growth helped the defense?
No, it's been great. You know, he's definitely a playmaker, and you're seeing that show up. You know, back-to-back weeks with interceptions. You know, he's doing a good job of you know, competing with Kevin, and you know, having the balance of those two. You know, Kevin's done a lot of good things throughout the season, but you're seeing Greedy get in there and being able to make plays. It's been huge for our football team. And you know, you look back to earlier times in the year where maybe there were missed opportunities, and you know, you see him just continuing to grow. You know, in what he's being asked to do, he's doing a great job of executing, you know, how to do it, and you know, he's making plays, and that's something that you know, when you have that quality depth within your defense, you're able to roll more guys. Guys are staying fresh. Guys are being able to make those impactful moments, not only, you know, on defense, but also in special teams. I mean, it's big for our football team, and so we have had that show up in a lot of different positions, but Greedy's definitely one that's taken advantage of it.
Go to the front for Chris.
In what ways has Trey Benson improved with each game, and how impressive is it that he improves each carry? It seems like he's learning.
I mean, I think you see just the understanding of all that he's being asked to do, and you know, obviously with the ball in his hands, you know, the efficiency in his tracks, the efficiency in his footwork. You know, there's you know, he's such a strong, powerful, you know, runner, but getting himself in the right spot, and then, you know, trusting what he's seeing. And there are still some things coming out of the game. You know, what I love about Trey is he's always searching to improve. He always wants more. He wants feedback. He wants that. You know, he wants to continue to grow. And you know, even coming out of the game, there's a handful of plays that you sit there and say, well, these are the things you could do to really take your game to another level. And you know, he embraces that. And you know, but yeah, the confidence is growing just through the work that he's putting in, and you know, it's really you know, just overall understanding, but also just in the ability that he has and what he can accomplish, you know, here in this offense.
We'll go front row on the right for Kurt.
I know we've asked and you've talked a lot, coaches talked a lot about the physicality of the receivers in their blocking this season. I think we really saw the physicality in the receiving with the ball in their hands Saturday. What was it like to see? I mean, the Malik play and the Johnny Wilson both kind of made guys miss in space for their touchdowns.
No, absolutely. I mean, and you know, you had the third down, the third down run. I think it was, might not have been third down, but the speed sweep with Mike making guys miss. I mean, it's just that toughness. It's going to show up, and it shows up. If it's going to show up without the ball in your hands, you know it's going to show up with the ball in your hands, and that's something that you know, we preach and we believe in, having that mentality. And you know, when you can throw a hitch and you know, have an explosive play, you'll score a touchdown. You know, this game's going to come down to one-on-ones, and you know, it's going to come down to, you know, blocking, running, tackling, you know, all those things, and our guys are winning their one-on-ones. And you know, when you can do that and teams are stacking the box, you know, just to stop the run game, it gives you those opportunities out on the perimeter, and you definitely creates challenges for opposing defense when they it has to limit how many times they put guys out on islands. And I'm really proud of our guys for the work that they're doing. I think Coach Dugas is doing a great job, in the foundation that he built with that mentality, and obviously the way our players have embraced that and continue to work get better there.
All right, we'll go back to Ira.
How much fun is it seeing your starting quarterback with a baseball cap on the sideline for the fourth quarters of these games? And how much do you enjoy that time getting to coach, a lot of those younger guys?
No, I mean, I think it's great when you get to have younger guys or guys that are into depth and be able to get them meaningful reps. And obviously Jordan played an exceptional game. He prepared at an exceptional level, and to prepare him to put himself in that position. But I was glad if that Tate could get out there and get work, and I thought there was some really good work, some things that he could grow and improvement. And in that game, and we were able to do that at a lot of different positions. And we held AJ in the game the other night. We thought about it. AJ has 2 more games left, but with 3 games out there, we just want to make sure that we're being smart with any potential situation that could come up where he would be forced to play, because we'd like to be able to keep those 4 games for him, or keep him under 4 games. So talk to him about that. And but when you see Jordan, and what I love is even when he's not in, he gets his baseball cap on, and that's obviously kind of a funny thing to me, but he's still so active in coaching, and he's engaged, and he's there working, and he's just such a great young man, and he is a leader within this team. And it's not only when he's out there on the field, but even whenever his work has been done, he's still trying to make a positive impact. And I love his approach.
All right, we'll come back over here for Hassan.
You just mentioned, the red shirting with the luxury of now, it's a nice problem to have with the bowl game. How do you kind of weigh that going into the final 2 games in the bowl game?
Well, it's something that we've definitely put a lot of thought in. There were some guys, there's still guys that we have that have 1 game left, and like we didn't play Rodney Hill the other day. That's intentional. And we've had those conversations with him about the process of what we're doing, and just trying to make sure that we're maximizing these guys and their opportunities through their careers. But it's you have to be strategic with it, because when you have regular season opportunities, and heaven forbid somebody gets hurt, and you're thrust in action, you've got to be prepared and ready in those situations. But also if we can have a good balance with the potential of another game, we're just trying to be aware of that, and making sure we're preparing guys for what can come.
All right, Ira.
The third down defense the last few games has been, off the charts. How much of that is putting teams in third and long situations, and how well are they playing in those situations?
No, they're doing a great job in those situations, and it does. When you can force teams in a longer yardage situation, it really allows you to kind of pin back and be aggressive, or have a variety of things that you can mix, whether it's dropping coverage, whether it's your blitzes, and the different things that you could put together. So I mean, it all stacks upon each other. And but I mean, I just think our guys, the emphasis that we put on third downs, that was something that cost us in some earlier games. And it's the ownership, the situational awareness, the communication. It's not like we added all these new calls and defenses that we're running, but you see the confidence in the way that guys are communicating, playing their technique, playing their fundamentals, and being able to impact the opposing quarterbacks is a big thing. And our guys are doing a wonderful job of that.
Come to Chris in the front row.
Shaheem Brown got his first career start. I think you guys came out in dime. What has he done this year as far as improvement? Obviously, a huge point in the LSU game, but just his continual growth.
Yeah, I mean, he's maturing in all areas as a player. The things that we ask him to do, defensively, as what he's done on special teams has been really big. But you see his confidence growing, and I loved I think it was the first play of the game. I mean, ball comes his way, and he's in great position. Goes and makes the plays, violent at the catch point, gets a PBU, and that's what you know, Shaheem has a great future in front of him. If he'll continue to work and develop like he has, you know, he is an ultimate team player. And, you know, that was something we knew when you watched his high school tape. You know, I think he played every position you possibly could play. I mean, you know, and you just saw the selflessness, but the care and the passion of how he played was something that I was so drawn to. And we're getting that. And it's just as he's growing up and, you know, gaining the confidence in his techniques and what he is, you know, being asked to do. I mean, it's great seeing that growth, especially as we're here in the back part of the season. But he's got a great future in front of him.
We'll go back to Hassan.
Yeah, Jared Burst after the game mentioned that he was upset that you guys gave up 3 points. Will that speak to the mentality of the defense, and how close are they to, you know, potentially getting a shutout?
Well, I mean, these guys are working to, you know, each day to just be their best. And, you know, I thought there were some great moments, you know, especially I mentioned after the game, you know, they were put in a challenging situation after the turnover, where, you know, you could go out there and, all right, they're already in field goal range, but, you know, that our guys really bowed up and was able to knock them back out of it. The guy, you know, forced a missed field goal and, you know, to keep, you know, no points on the board in that situation was something that was big. And, you know, there were still plays that, you know, on both sides, offensively, defensively, special teams that, you know, where we can grow and we can get better. And, you know, they were able to move down on a drive and to be able to finish with a field goal. But, you know, it's also those things that, you know, if we will continue to play the level that we're capable of, I mean, I think the sky's the limit to what we can accomplish. And, you know, they've done a great job, you know, the last 2 weeks doing, you know, something that hasn't been done in a long time here. And, you know, I think that, you know, if we'll continue to take those steps, I'm excited for what's ahead.
All right, Ira.
I guess when you look at these last couple games and, you know, just maintaining that level of confidence and intensity and focus, is it just a matter of doing what you're doing, or do they have to take it to an even higher level?
No, I mean, it still comes down to what we're here to do, and that's to get better. And, you know, that is our objective. It's, you know, our opponent this week, you know, it's a team that has very talented players. You know, they do a good job schematically. You know, but it's not about them. Just like I said last week, it wasn't about Syracuse or it wasn't about the opponent before. It truly has to be about us. We have got to embrace each day to, you know, being able to sell out on our improvement, on our growth, on going out there and playing the complete game to what our best is. And you can look to the last couple of games, I'm very happy with what we've done and what we've shown and the progression that we're seeing, the mentality that we have. But, you know, we have not played, you know, we still have not put together in every aspect where we're to what we're capable of. And, you know, we've been dominant the last 3 games, but we can be better. And that is the push. And that's why, you know, one of the things I appreciate with this team is that they understand the process of growth. And, you know, every one of these players, you know, not only with what they do here at Florida State, but they all aspire to get to the next level. They all want to do more. So, you know, we got to take advantage of that with every opportunity we step on that field. You know, we've got to make sure that we're pushing them, that we're holding them to that standard of their best in all things that we do. And you're seeing some of the benefits of it. But, you know, there's still that constant push of, regardless of who we play, right? You know, that's what needs to show up. And if it ever goes away from that, well, that's when you put yourself in jeopardy.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Here.